Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Gray, Superintendent of Schools for Lincoln County School District. Today we're going to talk about an important topic, which is school safety. We want to share a little bit about our methods and the practices that we have in Lincoln County School District designed to keep kids and staff safe. This is particularly important because of the things that have been happening in our nation, and particularly the horrible incident in Texas last week. So with me today, I've brought Sue Graves, our safety coordinator. Welcome, Sue, and please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Gray. So my name is Sue Graves, and I'm the safety coordinator for the school district. And I've worked here for the past 21 years, actually. I started working as a drug and violence prevention coordinator for our middle schools for about 3 years. And then the district created a full-time safety coordinator position, and I was brought into that and have been honored to be in that position ever since. And I can tell you that we do take safety very seriously in Lincoln County School District. And over the past 21 years that I've been here, we have intentionally added safety and security strategies and layers and protocols every year to work to keep our students and staff safe.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your great work over the last 21 years in Lincoln County School District. As a superintendent, I find it so interesting, after being in education for so many years, that there is such an importance to having a safety coordinator because of all the things that happen in our schools these days. And I'm really happy that we have Sue Graves here. I'm very grateful, but I'm also sad in a way that we have to have so much focus on safety that we can't just enjoy our schools and just learn stuff. So thank you, and I have a list of measures that you prepared that demonstrate ways in which we practice safety in Lincoln County School District. And I'm going to go through them, and you can comment on them or elaborate on each measure. So we have a comprehensive all hazards emergency plan that was developed with all 5 law enforcement agencies and all 8 fire departments in Lincoln County. What more can you tell us about that, Sue?
Well, I can tell you that we have great collaborations with our police and fire agencies here in the county, and it's a blessing that they have so much helped us over all of these years in developing protocols that really work for our district, for their capabilities and their philosophies. And these emergency protocols are things like protective protocols like lockdown or evacuation or shelter in place if there's a chemical spill in the community, but they're also specific to hazards like earthquake or fire or threats. So they cover severe weather, all kinds of hazards and threats. And so it's a really good plan specifically designed for Lincoln County School District.
I've noticed a lot when we have called upon our law enforcement and fire partners that they come very quickly and that you hold a certain reputation with them that makes them take us seriously. And because of that, I feel like Lincoln County School District is like double protected because they take you so seriously in the work that you do. What is the importance of our drills?
Yeah, drills are so important because you have to practice what your responses are going to be in order to respond appropriately with a variety of emergencies that we could face and that we do face as schools. You know, we have emergencies all the time of various kinds. It might be a medical emergency or, you know, smoke in the dryer room or whatever it is.
That's right.
And so we have to be prepared. Threats, of course, we have to be prepared for every kind of emergency. And so we have a district-wide drill schedule that is quite more robust than what the state requires for our drills. We do at least 1 drill every month, and most months we do multiple drills. And
That's
these
right.
could be fire drills, lockdown drills, shelter in place, reverse evacuation, earthquake drills, room clear, just a variety of drills so that we can really be ready for whatever we are faced with.
I have a question for you. A lot of times people don't know the difference between a lock-in and a lock-down. And then sometimes they use the terms lock-in and lock-out. So I'd like you to try to clear that up on our video about what the difference is between those two.
Yeah, those are really confusing terms, lock-in, lock-out, and lock-down. And so we know that when we're under extreme stress, like if there were some kind of gunshots outside or something like that, that we have a harder time with our cognitive ability, with our ability to think straight. And so we have to have really easy to follow procedures. If we're thinking, well, is it a lock in or a lock out or a lockdown? It's too confusing.
It is.
So we have very simple protocols. We have a code yellow lockdown and a code red lockdown. Code yellow, when you think of a traffic stop, yellow is caution, red is kind of it's stop, you know. And so with our code yellow lockdown, it's a low level lockdown that we use mostly just to limit movement in the school where there's something going on in the school where we need to just keep kids contained in their classroom. So it could be a medical emergency, someone having a seizure in the hallway, and we need to keep kids in the classroom so that they're not being exposed to the trauma, but also that we're providing privacy for the person who is having the medical emergency. Or it could be the police call us and say we're chasing someone dangerous in the community. So we would do a code yellow lockdown. Anyone outside in the playground, they would all come into the building. We would be all secure, continue instruction inside while the emergency is being assessed and managed and addressed.
Right.
That's our low level lockdown, code yellow lockdown. We use that frequently in our schools and it works. And then the code red lockdown is for really serious situations, like if there were ever an active shooter situation, which we pray will never happen here, but we have to prepare.
You must.
And so the code red lockdown, basically we're on the floor, doors are locked, we're quiet, we're making our rooms look and sound like they are totally unoccupied. We don't want to draw any attention to ourselves as we're safe and secure in our classrooms.
I think that that is so clear and very important that anyone viewing this video and is interested in the school district safety protocols, how well thought out these are and how practiced they are. And we hope that we never, ever have to use them ever. Each school has a threat assessment team, and we have clearly defined processes that the team uses. Each of our law enforcement agencies is an active and vital team member in our threat assessment. Can you talk a little bit about what a threat assessment team is and what is their work?
Yeah, threat assessments are very important because we do get wind or word or reports of a potential threat. It happens. And so we have to know how to respond. And we do have very clearly identified processes for doing that. So each school has a threat assessment team. It consists of the school administrator or principal or assistant principal. It consists of a mental health person at the school, like a counselor, and also a school resource officer or a law enforcement officer, other one if they don't have a school resource officer. And those three perspectives and points of view are really important as they're looking at the threat and investigating and trying to understand risk, so that then we can know how to respond to either put safety measures in place for the school or for certain students or wraparound support for the person who made the threat and get them the help that they need. So these threat assessment teams have this collective wisdom that they use as they're working on assessing the threat and putting together a plan for safety for everyone concerned.
Let's do a brief example, a very brief example, because I think that the audience for this video might like to hear a specific example. So let me give you a scenario. A student has, we find a notebook with a hit list in the notebook. So there's a notebook. A hit list means somebody's written something that I'm going to get you. And it's these people are in my notebook. We find that notebook. What does the school district do?
Yeah, that's a real pertinent scenario to discuss. Thank you for bringing that up. So the first thing that the school administrator is going to do, they're going to ask themselves, are there any immediate safety measures that need to be put into place to protect students and staff? That's got to be the first question. And if so, then they're going to do it, whether it's lockdown or whatever it is, depending on the situation. They're going to call police, get the police involved. They're going to notify you. They're going to notify me and the district team so that we can all be on board to help them as they're assessing this threat and this risk. And so they're going to start investigating and trying to figure out who made this list. And there will be notifications made to parents. There will be interviews, interviews and investigation and trying to understand more about the credibility of this threat and the risk level. And then protective measures will be put in place depending on where that investigation leads.
So another thing that I've heard tell and seen here in the district is that police officers will actually go to the home if we know who the student is or we have a name attached to a threat. And of course, we notify all people of that threat. But we'll go to their home and actually check for availability and access to weapons. So we're really looking at a very in-depth process in which no stone is unturned that we can think of in order to make sure of, as you said, the volatility and the validity of that threat and then the ability to carry out that threat. So I have really seen some excellent work by you and our law enforcement agencies. We use the school safety tip line called Safe Oregon. Please tell us what Safe Oregon is.
Safe Oregon is a statewide school safety tip line that schools from all over Oregon can use. It's a free resource to be able to report concerns of safety at school. And so, of course, for our families, for our students and our families, we hope that the students and families will talk to a trusted person if they have a safety concern,
right.
Whether that's for a student, their parent, or a trusted coach or teacher, or the school principal, or calling law enforcement if they have a safety concern. But if none of those seem right to them, they can just put in an anonymous or confidential tip at the school safety tip line. It's called safeoregon.com. You can do it on their website. You can text them a tip. You can email them a tip. And then they already have relationships with all of our law enforcement agencies and, of course, with each of our schools and with us. And so then they will forward that tip to us immediately so that then we can follow up with it, do the threat assessment or whatever we need to do to follow up with that tip. And it's so important that we need everyone to take an active role in school safety. And by reporting safety concerns, that's how everyone can get involved.
I don't want it to be that we only get heightened awareness and reminded when something horrendous, like what happened in Texas, and has happened across the United States, including in Oregon, that's what makes us be safe. We want to be safe all the time. That's all the time we have for this video, but of course, there's just lots and lots more to talk about. Lincoln County School District will do a podcast on school safety. We've been doing podcasts every month on interesting and relevant subject matter. And so be looking for that podcast, which will come out sometime soon. Sue, I'd like you to end this video interview and just anything that you would like to particularly say to anyone who is viewing this video today about Lincoln County School District and safety.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Gray. I just want to say that with each new safety measure that we put in place, because we do every year, we're adding more and more things, that is reducing risk. And with each drill that we practice, it's working to prepare us to respond to emergencies that occur. And whenever students and their families have concerns, if they will report those concerns, then we're all working together to, again, reduce risk and improve safety at our schools. And if anyone would like to learn more about our safety processes and protocols and procedures, they can go to our website and look in the safety section. And there's actually videos there that show how our lockdown procedures work and how our earthquake drills work and all of these things that we put together that are layered approaches to safety and security in our school district. And we welcome you to look at those and we welcome your feedback.
So everyone, as we close our video today, if you see something, say something. Don't be silent. Don't be worried about it. Be confidential. And we just thank you so much for your kind attention. Bye for now.